final game from the group stages of the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020, and it's a frenetic end to Group B as 3 teams vie for 2 semi-final places. Vietnam are involved in the mix and they face Cambodia, needing just a draw to qualify for their 12th semi-final. Welcome to the Bishan Stadium, and the table tells you only 1 point separating those 3 sides vying to continue their campaign. A draw good enough for Vietnam, but it will mean they finish as runners-up and face Thailand regardless of the Malaysia-Indonesia result. A win for Vietnam, good for top spots if Malaysia wins or they get 2 goals clear of an Indonesian victory. But if the unthinkable, that 0.1% happens and Vietnam fall to Cambodia, they need a draw in the other fixture of Malaysia to do them a favor and thump the Indonesians. Permutations, it'll continue for the next couple of hours. So take a breath, my friend. We promise to keep you up to date throughout the night. The Golden Stars fill out the Bishan Stadium, hosting a football match for the last time in the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020. Well, Park Hang-seo would have liked to have given his French players a run out tonight, but the 0-0 draw against Indonesia threw it out of the window. They hope to continue their amazing undefeated stretch in the Suzuki Cup, though. Vietnam haven't lost in the Suzuki Cup in 12 games, dating back to 3rd of December 2016, when they were downed 2-1 in the semi-finals to Indonesia. That is an amazing record, and in the group stages, even more amazing, they haven't lost a group stage game for 13 matches, the Vietnamese. The last time they lost a group stage match was back in the 30th of November 2012. That's 9 years without a loss in the group stages. Well, Cambodia, their opponents today, have had a football renaissance over the last couple of years. Ryu Hirose's men have continued riding the wave which was built from their first ever semi-final appearance at the last SEA Games, with some eye-catching performances, including a 3-0 victory against Laos in their last game. It was as pleasing as the scoreline suggested. It was also means that they've scored 6 goals in this competition. That's the most they've ever notched in a Suzuki Cup campaign for the Angkor Warriors. Vietnam are famous foes and familiar foes for Cambodia. In all but one of Cambodia's 8 appearances in the AFF Championships, they face the Vietnamese. Unsurprisingly, they've lost all 6 meetings and have conceded 9 goals to Vietnam twice already, including their biggest loss by 9-1 in 2004. They have scored in 3 of their previous 5 meetings against the Vietnamese, but didn't notch the last time they met in 2018, losing by 3-0. In fact, it is the 3rd tournament in a row that this tie is the final group match for both sides. Well, there aren't any higher mountains to climb in the region than a match against Vietnam these days. In fact, you'll find it easier to scale the highest peak in Southeast Asia than 90 minutes with the Golden Stars, defending tournament champions and red-hot favorites. They just come at you from all angles, and you just don't know how or when that knockout punch is going to come. A knockout punch was sorely lacking against Indonesia. A knockout punch or punches are needed in this game for Vietnam against a very young Cambodian team, as you can see there from the faces that are coming out. But Ryu Hirose has added a bit of courage to the team and has told them to be fearless in this match against their much favored opponents. The final Group B match, it's Vietnam versus Cambodia.
the national anthem of Cambodia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's Vietnam.
Is just going to be turned up a couple of notches, especially with the magnitude that this match offers and what's at stake today. Bishan Stadium has been turned into a mini Ho Chi Minh City over the last fortnight, thanks to the supporters that you see at the top of your screen. Vietnam starting lineup sees 4 changes from the side that drew 0-0 against Indonesia. The thinking behind, of course, Park Hong-seo's choices there is that they need goals. That's the reason why Nguyen Hoang Phong is now supported by Nguyen Thien Linh. The tournament's top scorer for Vietnam is supported by their top scorer in the World Cup qualifiers, which means that Quang Phong will be playing a supporting role in a formation that almost sees 4 attackers in their side. There will still be 3 at the back though. Numbers 2, 3 and 4 have been outstanding, and there's a goalkeeping change in Tan Trang Dong, who gets his first start in the Suzuki Cup in 11 years. The subs bench includes Ha Duc Chin, the number 18, who scored a hat-trick in the SEA Games against Cambodia in the semi-finals. He was Vietnam's top scorer in that tournament. Park Hang-seo has certainly turned the tables and made Vietnam the men's force in Southeast Asia since he's taken over. The referee for this tie is Abdul Baki Yaqub, who's already officiated in a Cambodia game when they lost 2-4 against Indonesia 10 days ago. In fact, this is the 4th time he's refereeing a Cambodian match, more than any other national side that he's overseen. Cambodia themselves make 6 changes to the team that won against Laos by 3-0. They also make a change in between the sticks as Hul Kim Hui, who started in goal in that 0-4 defeat to Vietnam in the Southeast Asian Games of 2019, starts in between the sticks this time out. In defense, they drop 2 and keep Sokviet as well as Sambat. It's in midfield that it's all changed with Chan Polin, Chan Chav and Ratanak making sure that they start. But up front, it's the same 3 that pounce and produce a delightful performance against Laos: Vatanaka, Pisot and Chantia. On the subs bench, Prakmaniodom can score goals. Trung Prolov has already scored in this tournament, the last game against Laos. So they have goals in them. Are they brave enough, though, to take it against Vietnam? And I'm sure that Rio Hirose must be telling his side that a goal, just a goal, against Vietnam would be considered a mini victory. Vietnam, remember, the only team who've yet to concede in this tournament. In fact, they went through the group stages without conceding in the last Suzuki Cup as well back in 2018, I should say. Keisuke Honda on the bench this time around supporting Hirose. He is, of course, the general manager and technical director for the Cambodians. And just the sight of him sends flurries of excitement to all cameramen around this region. Definitely one of the big names of Asian football right here at the Bishan Stadium. We talked about Vietnam being so stingy and stubborn and obdurate at the back. How about this for statistic? And not only haven't they conceded a goal in the Suzuki Cup in 389 minutes, more importantly, they
belum dibetulin.
Belum dapet yang bagus, Pak.
Tenang, kan ada Nippon Elastic 3-in-1.
Hebatnya, Nippon Elastic 3-in-1. Cat dasar, cat anti bocor, cat akhir dalam satu kaleng. Dengan teknologi Hydroflex, bisa meresap ke dalam pori-pori tembok dan menutup retak rambut. Nippon Elastic, bikin rumah tahan bocor lebih dari 5 tahun.
Ada kalanya kita ingin jadi manusia berguna. Namun kita sadar, kita hanya manusia biasa.
Not conceded a goal in the group stage of the Suzuki Cup since 26th of November 2016. The last team to score against Vietnam in the group stages of the Suzuki Cup was, you guessed it, Cambodia. All the way back in 2016 when Chereng Polov scored a goal in a 1-3 defeat. They will see a lot of the ball in this match, that's for sure, Vietnam. And they will transfer it as quickly as possible in that smooth-flowing, fluid way that we've come to associate in this dynasty of Golden Stars. Switching out all the way to the left-hand side, and Phong Hung Thuy trying to create some space. It's a fluid movement, great movement off the ball yet again. Quang Hai trying to take that shot on, instead he just fakes that pass, and there's players outside available. Just waiting for the right moment before sending the ball right inside the penalty box. Quang Phuong, that's great skill by Quang Phuong. Over two, still Quang Phuong, trying to weave his way around a couple of challenges. The Cambodians, though, are not afraid and just standing their ground, refusing to be intimidated, but they give the ball away just as quickly. It's a high press and the urgency already there in the opening minutes from Vietnam. They know they need this goal. They know they need a couple of goals. They need to be at least 2 goals clear of whatever Indonesia do, should Indonesia match their result. They have been vociferous, you'd have to say, a cacophony of noise coming from the Vietnamese faithful. They sense something special in this game. 3-0 at the last tournament. In fact, they went into the last game of 2018 against Cambodia with exactly a similar result they're in at the moment. Played 3, won 2, draw 1, scored 5, conceded none, and Quang Hai scored the second of those 3 goals in that victory. That second goal that he scored was the 800th goal in the Suzuki Cup at the last tournament. What have they got here to show us in what is a display to avoid Thailand, perhaps? Group A winners in Singapore, the other semi-finalists. That's a lovely touch being played on down there by Pisot. But the ball's taken away and stripped almost immediately. It's so very hard to crack this Vietnamese defense for 3 years already since, I should say 4.25 years since Park Hang-seo has taken charge. They've just had that passcode, which no Southeast Asian teams can actually decipher or crack. He's never lost a match against a Southeast Asian opponent, Park Hang-seo, since taking over as team manager of Vietnam. In fact, his first game was a 5-0 win against Cambodia. What a streak they've been on. And they're hoping to continue this in winning the Suzuki Cup for the 3rd time, 2 in a row. Vatanaka trying to keep that one alive, but was always surrounded by players in red. Was that onside? The referees decided to keep his flag down. That's the opening goal. Flag didn't go up. Vietnam take an early lead. Well, the defense all at sea at the moment. No VAR, of course, in this tournament. That's Nguyen Thanh Linh, who has been brought into the side because they needed goals, has got that goal that sees them put 1 foot into the semi-finals and topping the group. Quang Hai once again building. And the man who's behind that move, Sambat it was, who kept him onside, didn't step out in time. In fact, it was Sambat's partner, Yu Safi, who kept Thanh Linh onside. And their leading scorer in the World Cup qualifiers is not going to miss one-on-one with Kim Hui. Nguyen Thanh Linh. He scored his first ever international goal against Cambodia at the last Suzuki Cup. And he scored the first goal of the night. Scored 1 against them as well in the 2019 Southeast Asian Games semi-finals. So if only he can play them every week, as they say. So 4 minutes played. Vietnam, with their first shot on target, have found the opening goal. Something which they failed to do in the last match against the Indonesians. This is a frightening prospect for the Cambodians. You'd have to give them credit, though. They're not afraid to still play the ball. Very brave whenever they've had possession of it. That's falling right into the trap of the Vietnamese press, which has been very impressive in the opening 5 minutes. Hung Thuy, well, they say just play it back to the goalkeeper, Dun Chong. Great moment for him, of course. The 35-year-old was involved in the 2010 Suzuki Cup. So an update of the table. Remember, you're going to see it move quite a lot and quite often by the end of the night. So Vietnam with Indonesia drawing against Malaysia. Now